Hey there, how you doing? It's me again, coming to you with another thing on self-care. Before I get into what we're really going to talk about right now, I want you to take a moment, think back to the morning when I offered you the opportunity to take some conscious breaths, maybe on a set schedule, 15 minutes, half an hour, whatever, or just when you're feeling kind of stressful. So just wondering, have you been doing that? No judgment if you have or have not. Don't judge yourself. But I really want to offer that to you because I think you will really benefit from that. I think it's a way that we can kind of take care of ourselves through these stressful days. What I do want to do now is we're going to move into one of the protocols. I have a few listed there that we're going to talk about today, but the first is listening sessions. And what these are, they're an opportunity to kind of process a tough event that we're going through so that we can get after the rest of our day. It's a formalized process where people will have made themselves available for you to go to. It also helps us not inundate our friends, those that we're closest to, so that we're blowing them up with a text, or if we're on campus, we're headed over their room and taking their time, because we tend to go to the same person all the time, and we want to make sure we're not burdening anyone. And this may be one way that we can help resolve that. You're going to get this one sheet. I just wanted you to see it. So when you get this, you will then be able to put these two things together. But I'm going to break this down into small sections. At the end, what you're going to do is in your home groups, you're going to ask a bunch of questions, and your SLT member will record those questions, get those to me. If I need to change these directions based on that, of course I will. Maybe I create an FAQ, whatever's needed. Also, super important, there'd be an opportunity for you to suggest how to improve this. So as you're listening, please come up with suggestions that I can make this the best protocol possible to meet our needs. And then also an opportunity to volunteer if you want to be a listener. You'll see what that is in a moment. Here's what this is. We're building on a strength of Encina, which is being a super supportive staff, right? We're an amazing staff with that, and we're formalizing it with also not burdening others, right? Kind of trying to balance that. It's an opportunity to process, not to problem solve. And we'll get into that in a moment, all right? Here's how the protocol plays out. Listening sessions, 10 minutes, that's it. You're not gonna keep going on and on and on. And there's a protocol we'll follow to do that, but we wanna make sure that we're not taking our entire prep period to then be perhaps still escalated when we've got to greet another class. That doesn't do any good, right? So we're trying to keep it to 10 minutes. It begins 5 minutes into a period, ends 15 minutes into that period. That allows time, bio break, and the person who will be listening to kind of end their previous class. They can do a little processing and be available for you, okay? I'm spending some time on this because we really need to make sure that we're honoring this time. That listener, they've got a class coming up, so we don't want to keep going on. They might be giving and want to help. Of course they want to help. They volunteered to do this, but they have their day too. So let's really think about that part of it. Another thing with a few other things with this. The teachers volunteer to create space for you. There will be a Zoom link. So, if and when we're back to campus, you go to their room. But for right now, there'll be a Zoom link for you. If you click on that link and they're not letting you in, they're not being disrespectful or forgot. That's because someone else has already tapped them for their support. Now, I don't expect that to happen frequently, but if we really need this that much, we'll figure out a way to expand and to make sure we're taking care of people. But I just want you to kind of be aware of that now, all right? Here's what takes place. Opportunity to process, like I said before, whatever you're experiencing. The listener's just holding space, and they're not problem solving, all right? That's how that part works. We're gonna use these affective questions. This comes out of PBIS. I think we had 33, 35 people go through the restorative training. I'm thinking you probably saw these. I did the restorative training last year. That's where these questions come from. They're not that new to us. But I think since we're using them with students, why wouldn't we use them with each other? That last one's a big one because it's getting the person in crisis to come up with, what do I need to make things right? They're not gonna have time to necessarily put that into action, but they can have a plan, right? Maybe it's to clean talk another adult on campus. Maybe it's to call a student or text a student or talk to them when they see them next in the Zoom, contact a parent, whatever it may be. But they've got a plan so that they can take this situation, set it aside, and get after the rest of their day, right? Because that's what we're after for this. You'll see a schedule. You'll get a schedule. This is last year's. I just want to throw up the sample for you. But we'll have teachers who will volunteer. Instead of rooms being listed, it'll be the Zoom link, okay? And I just wanted you to kind of have that in your mind that we'll have a schedule. Obviously, our schedule looks a lot different than that one. Next steps, all right? 1, would you like to be a person who makes themselves available to hold space? There'll be a Google form coming. I'd love people to volunteer. We need people to volunteer. I don't want to burden anyone. But if this is kind of something that speaks to you, then when you get that Google form, let me know, and then we'll plug you into the schedule. You'll let me know what day, what periods, okay? All this information will be sent to staff. In the rest of your home group, there's gonna be some time for, like I mentioned, the question and answer, make suggestions. So you're gonna list what questions. So SLT members, you're gonna conduct a conversation. People are gonna come up with a bunch of questions. Please record those. Also suggestions, right? Make a list of suggestions people have. SLT members, if you need this presentation, your slide has your slide has this slide. You can click to pull up this presentation or that one sheet that you saw at the beginning to make this a little easier for you. All right, I appreciate it, guys. I'll check in with you guys later. Hope all's well. Peace.